So it is the 9th of January, about 12:30 in the afternoon. And I just dropped something on there. I don't know if it's quite edible. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about a few books. We're eating Indian food again, which that's my favorite. And you know, it's interesting. For years, I'd asked James if he'd like Indian food, and he didn't want it because he just thought that it was all spicy. And so I've been making different things that aren't so spicy, and he's been liking it. Like this quinoa dish. Well, it was from a recipe it was a rice recipe, but I made it with quinoa. And I'm not keen on the flavors, but I found that if I pair it with Alfredo sauce, and then it's good. So, for me anyway, I like it that way. Now, James found that if I put this fried onions with it, then he really enjoyed it. But he enjoyed it with the cashews and macadamias, and I'm out of that. So we'll see what he says today. So if he likes it, I'm going to make it, because it's healthy. Anyway, I read this, Dhammapada, The Sayings of the Buddha, translation and commentary by Thomas Cleary. I didn't care for it. I borrowed it because it got a good review from somebody else at my library system or whatever. Anyway, it's what I was reading it just little parts while I was waiting different places, like waiting room at physio or whatever, or the doctors. So it worked out for me that way, because it's the kind of thing you don't really want to read right through. So it's okay for that, but honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know why it got a good review. 5-minute watercolor? I actually like it pretty good. There's a few things in here, when you see the cat, I don't know if you can see it from there, but that's pretty fantastic. And I like the flowers. I like how this person does the flowers in 5 minutes. And the leaves. They do flowers and leaves really well. But other things, some things like that carrot, it's pretty good. I don't know, there's the water things, there's some good things. But anyway, the flower, that's very nice. So anyway, I would recommend that. So that's by Samantha Nielsen. Drawing for Older Children and Teens by Mona Brooks. I would not recommend this. The only thing that's relatively good in it is page 132 to 139. And that's just showing how to, the perspective drawing the boxes. And honestly, you can find that elsewhere. This book, it kind of made me feel a little bit sad, because this person is teaching children, and they have for some of the children, they've followed them through different ages, and yeah, there's some improvement, but not much. I think they're just, I don't know that this person is actually teaching the children anything. I think they're just oh, there's no right and wrong way to do art, just do it. And why are you getting paid to teach them then? They can just do it at home without you, because you're not actually teaching them. Mona Brooks. Anyway, that's what I thought of that one. So, Essential Oils for Mindfulness and Meditation by Heather Dawn Godfrey, PGCE and BSc. Now, I really like this, and there were a few parts. I bookmarked some things that I'm going to keep reviewing over, but until I get it into my brain. But this reminded me of when I was working as an IPM tech, and my supervisor, he was really great. And he was always very supportive of what I was doing. Because I guess, if you have somebody working for you that you can see is really passionate and self-motivated with what they're doing, let them do it, right? And so he did. He was a really smart supervisor that way, and so I just did my thing. Anyway, so I'd write out these information letters, and the only time he really gave me any constructive criticism, and it was good. But he told me I'd written highly technical things in there, which I found interesting. And he was like, you got to take that out of there. Nobody's going to want to know. And I was like, what are you talking about? I totally want to know. I see now that he was right. Because there's something, I will read a little bit for you that I pointed out. I just got to find it. So, because I didn't bookmark it in here because I have trouble with actually finding the stuff when I bookmark it to read. Now what is it? Tisserand and Young particularly warn of possible incompatibility between oral ingestion of essential oils of chaste, cypress blue, sandalwood, West Australian, and jasmine sambac absolute, and tricyclic antidepressants such as imipramine and amitriptyline, or opiates such as codeine, among other CYP2D6 substrates. Because these essential oils can potentiate the action of these drugs and other CYPIA2, CYP2C9, CYP2D6, and CYP3A4 substrates. Inhalation and dermal application of balsam poplar, blue chamomile, sage, and yarrow may also potentiate the action of CYP2D6 substrate drugs. And that was not the only incidence of that sort of thing. There's a big long thing where she's explaining the alveoli and odorant molecules. The neurons within the cilia convert receptor activation into electrical signals or impulses that are relayed along the olfactory nerve towards the mitral cells in the olfactory bulb, the receptive areas of the limbic system, hypothalamus, amygdala, and hippocampus. Identify odor. And then, she breaks it down more detailed. Anyway, so that's around page 46, and then she keeps on going through that. So that's 55. She's still talking about 60. 65. I think she's finally done talking about that. So anyway, maybe a little bit too detailed for most people. I don't know that most people would be too into reading that stuff. But now, The Crystal Code by Tamara Dreisen. This is the best crystal book I've ever seen. Now, not by the cover. I don't like this cover. They do have a little bit of shiny stuff going on there. But honestly, they could have done a way better crystal cover than this one. This is not that good. Now, once I opened it up, lovely. And then I will show you this. This is fun. So this is everyone should read this if they're at all interested in crystals. So this part I'm going to show you. If you're looking for programming inspiration, try using this chart. This is page 40. Take a few moments to relax and close your eyes. Before you open them, ask, what would you like to have? Now don't picture what you would like to have. This is what James was doing, and he did not quite get it. So anyway, just ask what you would like to have. So do that. Close your eyes, and then now open them. What do you see? So whatever word you saw, that's what you would like to have. So then what would you like to experience? So close your eyes. That's it. What would you like to receive? Close your eyes. And that. What would you like to feel? And there you go. Fun, hey? So, I always enjoy things like that. I don't know why it's in there, but I enjoyed it. And I don't know, I took a lot of notes from this book. I've learned quite a lot about, you hold your crystal in non-dominant hand while you're meditating, apparently. That was page maybe 9. Anyway, crystal size doesn't matter. Now, I thought this was a cute quote. Page 33. Crystals are highly intelligent, so can recalibrate their energy accordingly. And, well, you charge your crystals with sunlight or moonlight, but you have to be careful. Too much sunlight can fade the crystal. Or you can energize them within the earth. You can bury them, and then you just have to remember where you buried them. And there's a whole bunch of different things that different things to do with crystals. And if you have a crystal that is pointy on 2 ends, that's double terminated. If you're always a giving kind of person and you have trouble asking, this is the shape for you, because it attracts and emits in balance. And yeah, I can't imagine there could be a better book on crystals than this one. So I would highly recommend that anybody who's interested in crystals go through this book. And the Autoimmune Solution Cookbook by Amy Myers, MD. Now, the recipes, there are a lot of meat recipes in here, which that's fine, but
maybe. We've got our theories about autoimmune disease, right?
Yep.
At least some cases of it.
But anyway, I honestly, none of them looked really appealing to me, and I gather this must be Amy Myers here.
Well, she looks like a pleasant enough.
She does look nice, but maybe not the healthiest weight. I don't know. She's okay.
I don't know. She looks a little bit better in this picture.
Not a great
pictures don't.
It might be that top.
She doesn't. Yes, I actually think so.
Yeah.
You know, and then the way she's moving her head, because you can see, I think she's pretty close to
good
proper weight for
there.
Yeah. So
anyway,
she might do a little bit of roller coastering.
Yeah. Don't
What's
we all?
Her background? She's a doctor. It's supposed to be a stressful profession.
No, I don't
but
know.
I think the people that get most stressed out by the profession are the patients.
The one, I don't know why she even took a picture of this pizza though, because that looks terrible.
That's a pizza?
Yeah. Well, she's
it
using
doesn't bother me, you know.
She's using different things
what
for
is this stuff here?
Well, that's a pesto,
oh.
But it's a spinach kale pesto. That's why it's so dark.
Yeesh.
But it's
good luck with that. I'd cook the
tiger nut. She uses a lot of tiger nut flour. So, which I have never used that. I don't know anything about tiger nut. Nope.
Well, there you go.
So she uses arrowroot flour, cassava flour, tiger nut flour, cream of tartar, baking soda, sea salt, EVOO, and water for her pizza crust for that.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I don't know. Some of the things seem good, but like the chai tea latte, she has some sort of a protein powder in instead of cream, and she uses 4 roasted dandelion root tea bags, which she doesn't use any tea. So this is actually, that's page 123. That sounds like a pretty good recipe. It has all of the regular chai spices that you're accustomed to. She puts dates in to sweeten it instead of, and she does use coconut milk, so it's going to have some fat, but whatever. I mean, this recipe actually looks pretty good, and I'd be happy to feed that to James. So I'm going to put a bookmark in here.
There you go.
There. So, did you learn anything fun at school today?
I'm learning that I'm answering most of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a class of 100 people or so.
Oh, the biology one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's hilarious. You know, this is only the second class. And already now he's got a move that happens with so many of the professors. I'll ask a question, no hands. Then my hand goes up. And here's what they do. It's like low at their waist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a signal, just wait a bit. Because they want people to actually think about things.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
That's why I always sit in the back or try to. I don't know. There'll be times when I won't know the answers.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Well, I hope so.
Keep that in mind.
That's the whole
That's
point.
the whole reason why I'm turning up. At least I'm not paying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know, biology is not my. In high school, it was my least accomplished science.
That was my best one.
I know. That's why
But
you run into what you run into. Right?
no, I can't do chemistry.
See, that was my best one. Seems like 13 now.
Yeah, but how can I do biology? Anything biology related now, it has everything to do with chemistry. I can't do it.
At the cellular level, not at the ecosystem level.
I was never into ecology sort of thing. Well, I'm into it.
Ecology. You never had a chance to practice it, right?
No. My friend Taya, she's the one who.
Anyway, it's an important discipline. Very complicated, and the sad thing is, a lot of the technologists the world has had over the last 250 years or so just didn't grasp the concept.
In high school, they recommended I go into marine biology. That's what I was supposed to do. And I was going to do botany, and then I did horticulture instead. So, I should have done botany.
Yeah. It worked out a bit better for you back.
Or maybe I should have done marine biology after all. I don't know.
Well, that may go for him.
Yeah, he's in a hurry today.
Must be getting back for lunch and then late, eh? Yeah. Of course, it's more like 1:12. Screaming.
Oh, I was at physio today. And I went and visited my doctor. Had an appointment with her. And she set my mind at ease. Other doctors, you have something wrong with you, and they don't explain anything. And you walk out of there going, gosh, am I really fixed? Or what,
Was the person really mentally awake?
I don't know. So anyway, but I feel I actually like this doctor I'm seeing now. I think she's competent. And I trust her. She has a very good manner about her.
Well, I didn't mind her when I was there that one time, for sure. Maybe maybe the Dutch are competent. It doesn't matter where they come from.
I don't know where she's from. But
aside from Big Bill, the guy I worked with, I won't mention his name.
You just did.
Yeah, his full name. I didn't mention his full name.
Not his full name. How many did you work with?
I worked with other Bills.
Okay. Oh. Well, whatever. Anyway. And the physio guy, he seems very nice too. So maybe my knee will be just right as rain. So. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and Bunny is back out in his outside enclosure. I don't think I'll ever be able to break that habit. You know, every time I say enclosure, I think, oh, I've been brainwashed, you know, because I used to work at the zoo, and we weren't allowed to call the them cages. We had to call them enclosures.
Bureaucracy. Shameful.
Yeah, there were a lot of things we weren't supposed to do. Like, we weren't, it's funny, like, they can't do things like, you wonder, why can't they have signs up or whatever that say, don't let your child touch the electric fence or whatever. But they can't, apparently. We can't do that, because then they admit that they know that there's a potential for something bad to happen, right? So when your kid gets electrocuted, when they're hanging over the electric fence to pet the otters, lucky they didn't get their fingers chewed off. They only had heart troubles.
It's like I say, so often when there are signs like that, they are a response to something.
Well, they didn't have signs. They weren't allowed to have signs.
Or when they're not something. It's a response to something.
But seriously, like, who would hold their kid over the cage so they could pet an otter?
Well, you saw that kid with the approval, as it were, of his parents, who was trying to feed that big, grown-up male elk out in the wild.
You're right.
Bouquet of grass.
Yeah.
So there are all sorts of crazy parents. The dad was there holding a younger sibling of the kid, the boy. And if the elk had decided to rampage towards the dad, he would have had a hard time getting out of the way. So he had the kid there.
What do you do?
What do? You just shake your head. That one made the national news.
We got it on film.
The August holiday. Yeah, we did, but other people did as well. And either they sent it in to CBC
Other people
or
did close up.
Oh, yeah.
Mine I did with a zoom. Zoomed as close as I could get from as far away.
Yeah, we were a long ways away. We were over on the other side of the road. And maybe a football field or more away. And that's not football field and width, that's like. And even then, we stayed on the other side of the car.
Well, most of that actually went into my mouth this time.
Well, that's good. You weren't feeding the birds on the deck here. I do a lot of that. How many bird feeders you got? 2? One at the front, one at the back?
No, the one at the back. Since I have to fix the fence. It's not on there right now, is it?
Anyway,
I'm not putting food in it anyway.
I was wondering if we could set up other big bird feeders. Reading that Dutch book on bird feeding, I have gotten worried about birds fighting each other. Birds of the same species, birds of different species, fighting with each other at a feeder, right? Because there's so many pictures of them. Not so much fighting. What they were doing is display stuff, but
yeah, but I guess in the winter their food's a little bit scarce and start getting upset.
Yeah, one of the pictures was a winter picture. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I should put out more food for them.
I was thinking you put one around the corner here, so they're away from each other. And maybe one down at the end of the yard or something.
I could hang a few in the lilacs.
Yeah, the lilac.